Okay, this is your tea leaf reading. I saw in the comments that you have a few questions, so I just wanted to address real quick with you. Two of the questions I probably won't pick up on, only because when I do a reading for somebody, it's within their energy field. So one of the questions that you asked was, what type of job does Angela work for, or what does she do for a living? That probably won't come up in the reading, just because it's within somebody else's energy field. And also about your son's relationship. That is not within your energy field. Like, I could do a separate reading about those two subjects, I guess you could say, about those two, and pull in their energy for that, for those readings. But for your reading, pulling in your energy will address your issues within your energy field. I hope that makes sense for you. I just don't want you to be disappointed if I don't touch on everything that you asked, but some of the things I'm just not able to address within somebody else's energy field. Anyways, so this is the cup, the tea. I'm going to drink the tea and focus on your questions and pulling in your energy and stuff like that, and then I will show you and then I'll flip the cup over and I'll go through all of the symbols and stuff like that in within the cup with you, and then at the end I'll come back and I will tell you what the symbols all mean together. So I will be back in just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to flip the cup over now, and we'll take a look at what kind of symbols and stuff. Oh, I forgot my pen. Hold on. Alright. We will flip this over and look and see what symbols I see in here, and I will tell you things that information that comes to me as I'm looking through there, and then the rest of them from the symbols and stuff like that, I will share with you what the entire reading is telling you at the end of the entire of the reading. So first of all, let's go over and I will let you know. So your first question was, will my friendship with Angelina become a romantic relationship? Is she interested in me for a relationship? Now, when I read this question that you wrote to me, I'm pretty sure that you're talking about Angela, but I wasn't positive because you said that you just met, but that's what I feel like you were talking about Angela. So anyways, do you see my family and I evicted, was the next one, and then is someone talking about me behind my back? So those are the questions that I'm going to be looking out for and really going deeper in, and then I'll give you any other information as well that comes up in your reading that is valuable to know. So let's go ahead and flip the cup over and look. Okay. I can pretty much answer the question about is somebody talking about you behind your back. Yes, if you can see this right here, let me see on the camera. You can see it's like an alligator or a dog head right here. The very first impression that I get is yes. I haven't gotten any details on who or anything, but I will tell you that as we go through and read here, the symbols at the bottom of the cup are very deep emotional, and then as you go around here, see most of them lie in the middle in the middle of the cup right there, they're like middle emotions, or like, you know, they're not really surface or shallow emotions, and they're not really deep things that are really deep within us. They're sort of like our day-to-day stuff. Okay, yeah, so the ones around the top, there's not very many top ones except for right here. These few ones would be the very shallow emotions. So I will address this one with you right now. This one is very shallow, friendship. So yes, somebody is talking about you behind your back and is saying like vicious and mean things, but it's not a close friend. It's not a friend that it's not a person that you consider a very close friend. I'm actually getting more of like a work relationship, or this happens to be work related. I also think that whoever it is that you feel that it is, you're correct on, because I'm not getting any information as far as, not yet anyways, as far as who it might be other than a work relationship. Like I'm not really seeing any names or anything like that. But whoever it is that your suspicions are about, yes, like you wouldn't, and I know that you already know who it is, or you wouldn't have even asked the question. So the answer to that question is yes, I saw that right away. But it is a shallow relationship. It's not somebody deep, or somebody that you have a really strong connection to. It's like I said, I get like work related or that kind of relationship. Very shallow. It's more out of jealousy than it is out of anything else, and a very insecure person. Okay. So I see a cow right here. I don't know if you can see it. Sometimes in the camera you can't see it as well, or I'll watch it in the camera and I'll see different shapes through the camera. But anyways, like I see a bird right here through the camera, where when I look at it, it looks like a whale. But I see a cow right here. Sometimes this process takes a while to like figure out and see all of the symbols and shapes in here. I see an S right here. I see a crab right here. I'm not sure if you can see that. I see a chicken, like a rooster right here. Okay, right here I see a little girl with like a ponytail. And then when I turn it upside down, when I did that right now, I saw a mouse. So, hold on. Okay, this is the second time. Right here and right here, I see a like a hawk's face, or like an eagle's face, like just the beak and like profile of a hawk or eagle. I see a dragonfly at the bottom of the cup. Looking at the cup, I don't really see any symbols for this, but it's just a feeling that I'm getting while I'm looking into the cup, that there's something blocking you from achieving the kind of relationship that you want. I'm not seeing anything specifically relating to a relationship at all in here. Not that there couldn't or wouldn't be one, but that there is something, some emotional like blockage and baggage on your end that's keeping you from gaining or bringing to you the kind of relationship that you want, the kind of romantic relationship that you're looking for. There's stuff in your past that needs to be like that has been kind of swept under the rug, or like old emotional stuff that you didn't never wanted to deal with. I'm kind of getting that it has something to do with your mom, possibly, but it's stuff that you haven't wanted to deal with. And so you kind of, and we all do this, we, you know, if we don't want to deal with some memory or something like that is too painful, we don't deal with it, we distract our minds with other things. And that's when we sweep that under the rug, and then, you know, there's, over time it builds up with things that we don't want to deal with, or every time that thought comes up and we push it back under the rug, right? So these are the things that are causing the block, is something in your past, and I almost guarantee it has to do with your mom. I'm not saying what the situation is, but it's causing you to have emotional blocks and stuff like that up and you are, and these are not allowing you to attract into your life a relationship like you're looking for. Let me go ahead and put together all of the stuff, all of the little symbols and everything like that that you that I've seen so far. If I see any more, I'll let you know about them. And then I'll let you know. Sorry, I keep looking in the cup. I will let you know all about like what the entire reading is telling you and stuff like that. And I'll let you know if there's any more symbols that I see in the cup. So I'll be right back. Okay, so this is really, really interesting because there's a lot of double symbols. So when I saw the whale but turned it a different way and saw a bird, when there was a hawk and eagle's face, like the double one, and then a couple other signs, not that were double, but like I saw a rooster in one area and a cow in the other, or mouse. They're all very opposite, which is really interesting. Like for instance, the bird and the whale. A bird is representative of a fortunate journey. A whale is a symbol of something of a doing something that may seem frightening, but it might be the situation, the outcome could be averted if caution is taken. Okay. The rooster was a symbol of domestic tribulation. The mouse, a symbol of domestic worries. Things seem to be the hawk and the eagle. The hawk is a symbol of things seeming to be against you, but the eagle is a symbol of prosperity through change of residence. The cow is a prosperous sign of calm and content state of mind, and a dragonfly is unexpected occurrences. So as far as your question about being evicted, I see this as you have a window of opportunity happening right now, and it's a very fine line that you're walking about whether or not that's going to happen. And it's sort of, the ball's sort of placed in your court as far as what you want to happen. It's showing and it's talking about things being about perception in this, because on one hand you have it being like it could be it could be a time of tribulation, it could be a time that is scary or upsetting for your family, but in this most of them in the same sign is a symbol of turned another way, looked at from a different perspective, is a symbol of great prosperity through new residents, great new opportunities, and also what was the whale? Bad situation being averted if caution is taken. So I know that what's happening with you right now is, like I said, the ball's in your court. So I'm trying to describe this the right way. It's all about the perception that you take on it. If you guys get evicted or if you decide to move, it's the energy shift and the change that we all fear, because we don't know what exactly is going to happen. But the thing is that we are creators of our own reality, of our own situations, okay? So even if it's an unfavorable situation like an eviction, you've drawn this energy into yourself. Your higher self is telling you that there's a change that has to happen one way or another, and it's sort of pushing you and backing you into a corner until you make the change, till it's like forcing you to make the change, and that is to take like the responsibility of it and saying, okay, I've drawn the circumstance into myself about this eviction. It's pressing me into a corner. Why would I need that? Why would I want to do that? So if that's the case, right, if you don't want to move, then start making a plan about how it is that you're going to stay there, and start thinking about and feeling like what it would be like if you guys didn't have that eviction there, if you were living in there and you were fine. But also know that a lot of times when we pull this energy into ourselves, it's because our higher self actually has bigger plans for us. Or, you know, like, we'll go along and we'll think, oh, well, this is good. I really like this situation right now, this job or this whatever. But then something happens and you lose that job or whatever, and you feel like it was something bad, but it's not. It's something that is was necessary to move you to a higher place, to move you on to bigger and better things, basically. But a lot of times what happens is we take that as a sign from the universe or something that we are being punished for something. I lost my job, I must be being punished for something. And then we start attracting into us all of worse situations and things like that that make us uncomfortable, right? That make us upset, that make us uncomfortable, things like that, by our thoughts of being punished. I'm being punished, I'm being punished, I'm being punished, and we start creating situations where we're being punished. Instead of thinking that, oh, well, I lost my job, there must be something bigger and better out there for me, there must be something, right? And shifting directly into a state of a positive situation, and there must be something better for me than this, and that's why this energy has pushed me forward. So if what's happening with you as far as an eviction is happening, when you draw that into yourself, it's your higher self going, there's someplace else you're supposed to be, there's something bigger you're supposed to do, there's more to something than, you know. So all of these things, if you're looking for signs or you're watching for this kind of communication, you'll start to see that everything that's happening around you and stuff like that is happening for a reason, but it's all based on your perception of it. It can be a hawk where things seem to be against you, or it can be an eagle where it's prosperity through change of residence, okay? But what the reading is really telling you is that the ball's in your court, and that it's up to you to realize the kind of power that you hold. Like, you attracted the situation into yourself. You've attracted this very reading into yourself to wake up that side of yourself, to bring it to, like a translator, to bring it to, you know, what the universe is telling you. This is what's happening, okay? This is why this energy is happening this way. So I see a lot of shifts for you, a lot of new changes, like I was talking about the shadow work as far as yourself goes. You're going through and clearing that out before any kind of relationship will manifest that is worth it. I don't see anything in here that is going to tell you, hold on one minute. I grabbed my romance angel, so we'll get a little bit clearer of a picture about what's going on with you and Angela. Because I didn't see anything in, other than like any symbols in the tea leaf reading, other than, like I said, what energy I picked up, and that was a block. Okay, there's a block within you that has to be, before any relationship with anybody, regardless of who it is going to be of any kind of substance. This block has to be taken care of, because the cycles of your past that led to relationships that were not fulfilling for you, were not satisfying for you, left you hurt or upset or whatever. The situation is in your past, that pattern that keeps repeating for you, that is because of this emotional block. So let's go ahead and look and see what the potential could possibly be, what we're really looking at in regards to this relationship. But know that whatever happens, it's only going to happen if you can remove this block and release yourself from your own old patterns. Now that happens with everything in our life, by the way. You'll start a chain reaction. It's really interesting. If you really start working on this shadow work and start trying to contemplate what it is and what the emotional block is and stuff like that, a lot of times it's subconscious. I suggest trying journaling. And also, if you have a good friend or something like that who you can talk to about your past, who you can talk to about different things that you feel like it could be that's blocking you, you'll see when you hit on the subject that it is. You know what I mean? Start talking about your childhood, about your mom. You might know what it is. I'm not sure if you know or not. I just went through something similar recently, not realizing that I had some shadow work I had to do about my past, because I never had any kind of problems between like my parents and me when I was younger, honestly, and that's actually a harder case to work on if everything was great during childhood, because you don't know where those blocks are. You couldn't say, well, yeah, this happened and obviously that caused some emotional problems for me. So sometimes it can be tricky because it's something that happens subconsciously that you kind of forget as you're growing up. So some journaling, go back through your younger years and start writing almost like your own story about what happened when you were young and things like that. And as soon as you get to that part, you'll know it. You'll have a very strong emotional reaction. You'll either cry or get angry or you'll have a very strong emotional reaction, and you'll realize that you just hit on the very spot that the block is. That's what happened to me. I was talking to a friend and we started talking about a certain subject, and I just started bawling, and I don't even know. I mean, it's not something that I've talked about it before, but never with the intent to discover what the block was. So anyways, let's go ahead here, and I'm going to pull 3 cards, and we're going to see what's going on here between you and Andrew. So this first card is telling you to enjoy whatever energy you have with each other right now, in whatever state it is, in a friendship kind of thing. Enjoy that time that you have together right now, like live in the now, right? Also, it's talking about there might be a situation where you go somewhere for the day together somewhere, and you might want to talk to her a little bit about it then, or kind of, you might be able to tell on that like day outing, right, where her energy lies, where she might be looking at the relationship going. I have a feeling that she's unaware of your emotions towards her, or intent for your guys' relationship. And I'm not seeing that she necessarily knows for sure how she feels about that kind of relationship or whatever. So, but okay, is telling you to make that effort, right? Take that time and maybe go like on a picnic or something like that together. Hang out a little bit and see if you can kind of feel what she's feeling. You know, if she's being more awkward, or if she's being more open about the situation. So The next card says trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So when you're doing something like this, you're going out on a limb like this with anybody, as far as relationships going, having faith in the situation and having faith that everything is turning out for a reason, right? It's all turning out the way that it's supposed to be. And also with your shadow work that you're going to be doing. Once you clear that, it's showing you right here that once you clear I pulled this card for a reason, but once you clear the situation, you will have the kind of romance that you have wanted. You'll have the kind of relationship that you've been wanting for, like, it's in your future. It just takes some effort on our part, you know. It just takes some steps energetically, because when we have blocks up like that, it really, and what it's doing is that energy is lying just beyond that block, right? The energy, that kind of relationship you want is lying just beyond that block. So I pulled this card to clarify this situation here, and what it's talking about is make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps that you're guided to take. So a little while ago I was talking about signs and following signs if you get them, and it's all about perspective, right? Okay. So when you get certain signs from the universe about things, meaning like an example would be like you're walking through the store down the street or something, and you hear a snippet of somebody's conversation that would have to pertain to you. You didn't hear anything else they were talking about, but like just a few words or a sentence of something, right? And it happens to catch your attention. You glance over and you see a word on a magazine or certain numbers on a license plate or something like that, and they jump out at you more than the surrounding words or numbers or whatever. These things are all signs for you. Or you turn on the radio at just the right time that a certain song or sentence or something comes on the radio, right? Those are all signs. Those are all directives and signs and stuff like that. Also your feelings. When you have certain feelings towards a situation, these are signs too. Positive, happy, you know, joyous feelings are telling you, yes, this is the direction to go. This is the direction to go. That's right. That's how you always know that that's a sign that's you're on the right path, is your feelings. Examine your feelings. Do you feel happy and content with the situation? Yes? Okay. Then you're on the right path. Feelings of, you know, anger, upset, sadness, depressed type feelings, those kinds of things are all signals from your higher self that you're not on the right path. So examine the situation that caused those feelings, because that's what's, you know, that's what you need to stay away from or steer clear of. Those kinds of things. So these things are always talking to you, and when you're being guided for, like this right now, okay, for you to, you're trying to pull in this relationship. You're trying to pull in this kind of romance, right? Regardless of who it's with, there is a certain kind of romance or certain kind of relationship that you have in your mind's eye that you want for yourself, right? And so you keep trying to pull this in, you keep trying to pull this in, you keep trying to pull this in, and you've missed all the signs that have told you before that there's a block that needs to be taken care of. There's something in your past that you haven't dealt with that needs to be taken care of. You've ignored those signs and stuff like that. So anyways, so as you're pulling this in, you've come to a situation where you've pulled in this exact reading, right, the tea leaf reading and everything like that, to tell you straight out that this is what's happening. And because once you know about it, then you can go, oh, okay, I get it now. You can jump that hurdle, and this is lying literally right past that block, like I said. It just takes the effort, right? It takes pulling back that rug, and that's what I pulled that card for, was clarification on this. And it's telling you that everything that you want is lying just beyond the effort. Now, this could be with Angela. It also could be that dealing with the situation and going through a relationship with her is what leads to the next thing. I'm not seeing anything very specific about you guys. I'm still not, like I said, still not seeing anything very specific about her and you as a relationship. All I'm really seeing, okay, is that once you make the effort to clear out the energy, you'll get what you want. Now, Whether that's her or not, I'm not certain. And so I don't make any claims to say that absolutely this is or this isn't. Because, and the reason why I'm not getting that right now, just so you're aware, the reason why I'm not getting a clear answer on that is because that's not what the focus should be on. The focus should be on, right now for you, is to clear that block, to clear that history energy out, and then once that happens, then you can fully address a relationship with another person regardless of who that person is. Okay? So a lot of times right now, especially right now, the energy that's around right now is really calling for us to take a firm grip on our life and decide, instead of playing, like sort of being tossed around in the wind aimlessly and not knowing, take a firm grip on what you want your life to look like. This is what I want, this is where I want to live, this kind of job I want to have, this kind of person I want to be with, this is the kind of relationships, blah, 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 on and on and on. Define what those look like for you, okay? What kind of house do you want to live in? Take a proactive stance on your insecure feelings over your house, you know, what am I saying? Your, where you're living, and you know, any kind of eviction feelings. Take a proactive stance on that and say, okay, this is what I want to have, and define what that is. With a relationship, you do the same thing. So the ball's kind of in your court right now as far as what you want this energy to turn out like. But like I said, everything lies just beyond that realization, just beyond making the effort to clear out that energy from your past. So if you have any more questions about your reading, let me know. Message me and let me know if you need any more like clarification on anything like that. And I wish you the best of luck and hope you enjoyed.